The Collegian News, with news anchors Corey Aiken and Samantha Ruiz. This is your weekly webcast update.
A Senate committee has given the green light to a bill merging UT Brownsville and UT Pan American.
And Texas Southmost College President Lily Tercero visits the Student Government Association. This and more coming up after this.
The Collegian News is brought to you in part by the Dean of Students Office. The Spring 2013 Graduation Fair will be held on Wednesday, March 20th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Thursday, March 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Barnes & Noble bookstore. During Graduation Fair, students can purchase their cap and gown, order their official graduation ring, learn about the Alumni Association, and much more. For more information, call the Dean of Students Office at 882-5141.
Hello UTB-TSC students. Welcome back to the Collegian News. I'm Corey Aiken.
And I'm Samantha Ruiz. We hope you enjoyed your spring break.
The Texas Senate Higher Education Committee has passed Senate Bill 24, which would create a new University of Texas System University with a medical school in the Rio Grande Valley. Marlene Rodriguez fills us in.
Identical bills in the Texas House and Senate seeking a new University of Texas school in the Rio Grande Valley both advanced March 6th. HB 1000 and SB 24, which were filed February 4th, are identical bills that would authorize the UT System Board of Regents to abolish UT Brownsville and UT Pan American and create a university with academic campuses in Cameron and Hidalgo counties, an academic center in Starr County, and a medical school, the location of which would be determined by a committee established by the Regents. University of Texas System Chancellor Francisco Cigarroa, UT Brownsville President Juliet V. Garcia, and UT Pan American President Robert Nelson attended Senate Committee on Higher Education meeting March 6 to advocate for the passage of the bill.
What I think this bill does is allow us that asset building capital by virtue of becoming full members of the Permanent University Fund, and then by virtue of taking two smaller institutions and realizing the synergies that come from both of those. So I pledge to you today that much like we were out to become the best in the nation in chess, that we would like to be the best in the nation in preparing and graduating Hispanic students in South Texas. Thank you very much.
This bill is about doing the right thing. If we don't get it right in South Texas, as I've said for the last 4 years, if we don't get it right in South Texas, we don't get it right in this nation, and we especially don't get it right in this state. Thanks.
Junior entrepreneurship major Abraham Villarreal said the passing of the bills will increase funding to the school and provide better resources and scholarships for students.
It'll provide better opportunities, not just for medical students, but for all students in general.
We will keep you updated on the progression of both bills. For the Collegian News, this is Marlene Rodriguez.
During the SGA meeting, TSC President Lily Tercero addressed the Senate of the transition progress to an independent educational institution. Alex Rodriguez was there.
During the SGA meeting March 5th, TSC President Lily Tercero said the college will announce available jobs on its website after spring break, then hire staff and faculty over the next couple of months. Most of those hired will not start until the fall of 2013 semester.
So as you can see, we're moving along fairly quickly now.
Tercero also told the SGA that a director of financial aid as well as a director of education technology and curricular innovation has been hired. Mike Shannon, TSC's Associate Vice President of Student Services, said part of the first floor of the Oliveira Library is being remodeled for an enrollment function.
And students will be able to complete everything in one location, so you'll be able to register, take care of your Apply Texas, your FAFSA, get advised, take care of testing, financial aid, everything in that one area.
Tercero said TSC will also form its own student government and hold elections in the fall. After hearing that TSC will have its own student government, the SGA held a special meeting on March 7th to set Senate election dates. UTB will conduct the election for the 2013-2014 academic year, April 8th through the 10th, via Blackboard. The deadline to apply for candidacy is 5 p.m., April 2nd, and only UTB students may run for office or cast a ballot. Selma Isnaga, Director of Academic Advising, also addressed the Senate.
This semester, we are doing mandatory advising for 3 target groups only. That means that only those 3 groups will have the registration blocks. And the 3 groups are any students who have fewer than 24 hours, so mostly the freshman class, any students who are on academic probation, and any students who are on the first level of a developmental course in any area. This semester, we feel like we've done a really good job of teaching our students what they need to know about planning their schedule, about registering themselves, and so we'd like to refocus our time on populations that we think need a little more attention from us.
For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
Reporter Kayla Contreras fills us in on last week's city meeting.
By the year 2020, the city will have a parkland deficit of more than 2,700 acres, administrators told the Brownsville City Commission during a workshop March 5th. The city adopted a master parks plan about 4 years ago that projects city, community, neighborhood, and regional parks to have a parkland deficit by 2020.
We need to consider either acquiring parkland for future use, not necessarily developing the park, but at least acquiring it so that we have it.
Another goal is to provide connectivity between park facilities, neighborhoods, and schools.
Other cities, what they've done, they've partnered up with the school districts to allow access to the school facility, whether it be the walk. And so maybe we need to consider going and approaching the school district so where we can open up some of those facilities.
Chavez Vasquez recommended discussing the matter with the Brownsville Independent School District Board of Trustees. District 1 Commissioner Ricardo Longoria said a former program called Sparks allowed school facilities to be used as parks.
And Sparks was canceled on behalf of BISD because of their insurance, and that's why they did away with it. We had Sparks. Sparks was an active program that we had in conjunction with BISD, but because of their liabilities and because of their insurance, they backed out of the program.
In other business, commissioners approved a tax abatement for Tenaska Brownsville Partners for a new power plant facility. Tenaska's investment of more than $400 million was reviewed and did qualify for the abatement. Gonzalez said the city will work with Tenaska in putting together a property tax agreement.
We don't really know what the value will be until until the development is built and the appraisal district actually goes out and appraises the property.
Samantha, what are some of the incidents reported to campus police this week?
Well, Corey, on February 20th, a student was arrested on 3 warrants after campus police conducted a traffic stop of his vehicle when he was leaving an apartment complex. The student evaded arrest the day before after he was reported for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend, another UTB-TSC student. The assault was reported by a witness who said a man was hitting another woman in the Casa Bella parking lot. The man grabbed the woman by the wrists, but upon seeing the officers, he let go of her and then ran and jumped over a fence. The man also is accused of burglary and received a criminal trespass warning. 2 men were arrested on a charge of public intoxication on February 23rd after someone reported a suspicious vehicle driving slowly in the area along the U.S.-Mexico border. The driver of the vehicle smelled of alcohol and had bloodshot eyes. The campus police officer noticed 2 packages of beer which had been spilled on the floorboards. The man was too intoxicated to follow any instructions for a sobriety test. The passenger of the vehicle said he had drunk 10 beers. Both men received criminal trespass warnings. A Cameron County magistrate fined each man $350.
What's on the minds of students? Here's Alex Rodriguez with this week's segment of I Think.
The I Think question of the week is, what woman in history has influenced you in a positive way?
Patti Smith has influenced me in a positive way because she's a poet / singer, she's an artist as well as a musician, and I like what she would go through her lyrics.
Dolores Huerta, because she fought for migrants, for their rights, and as a migrant worker when I was a child, it was very hard to be in school, to try to be in school, to finish high school when you had to help your parents to work, to help support the family. and she has influenced me in many ways, and one of them is education. It's the only way out.
My mother is the person that has influenced me the most because she's a person that has always been there for me. She's a person that supports me, and no matter what, I know she's always going to be there for me.
For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
In sports, things did not go well for the UTB-TSC men's golf team at the Contender Tournament in Irving. Michelle Espinosa has the scoop.
The UTB-TSC men's golf team placed 13th out of 14 teams in the Contender Tournament held March 4th and 5th in Irving, hosted by Northwood University.
We struggled with the golf course, mainly in and around the greens, or on and around the greens. We weren't sharp at all, and when we started making a lot of, bogeys and others, it kind of got us out of our usual mode, and that led to some high scores.
The men scored a two-day total of 968. Saad Milan scored the best individually for UTB-TSC, finishing the tournament with a two-day score of 239, followed by Gage Murphy with 240 and Marcus Cavazos with 246. Texas Wesleyan University won the team competition with a total of 886.
That's all the news for this week. Thank you for joining us. We leave you with footage of the March 6th Safe Spring Break Luau.
Don't forget to tune in next week for another edition of the Collegian News. Have a great day.
Thank you.